no intermission. In case of a fire, there are exits here and here. The actors will be utilizing the center aisle, so please do not leave any items or limbs in there for the safety of you and the actors. I also have some content warnings to read you. This show contains flashing lights, loud noises, screaming, portrayals of warfare and violence, sounds of gunshots and fighting, misogyny, descriptions of imprisonment, on and off-stage death, prop weapons, threats of violence, and descriptions of torture and execution. It has truly been a delight to work with this incredibly talented cast, Protein, and Troupe, and it is my pleasure to present Joan of Arc.
Where's the prince so far? I have news for him. Rise on to us. Shall I call her in? Go call my words, for they are certain and unfathomable. Go call her in. But first to try her skill. Rainier, stand out of form in my place. Question her proudly. Let thy look be stern. By this means will sound what skill she hath.
Fair maid, thou will do these wondrous feats.
Rainier, is thou the thinkest to beguile me? Where is the dauphin? Come from behind. I know thee well, but never seen before. Be not amazed. There's nothing hid from me. In private will I talk with you apart. Stand back, you lords, and give us leave a while.
She takes upon her bravely her stash.
Dauphin, I am by birth a shepherd's daughter, my wit untrained in any kind of art. Heaven and our Lady Gracious have been pleased to shine on my contemptible estate. Lo, whilst I waited on my tender lambs and to sun's parching heat displayed my cheeks, God's mother deigned to appear to me, and in a vision full of majesty willed me to leave my base vocation and free my country from calamity. Her aid she promised, and assured success. In full glory she revealed herself. With those clear rays which she infused on me, that beauty I am blessed with, which you may see. Ask me what question thou canst possible, and I will answer unpremeditated. My courage, try by combat if thou darest, and thou shalt find that I receive my steps. Resolve on this. Thou shalt be fortunate if thou receive me for thy warlike mate.
Only this proof I'll let out of it. In single combat wilt thou not both me. And if thou vanquishest, thy words are true. Otherwise I renounce all confidence.
I am prepared. Here is my keen-edged sword, decked with fine flowered loops on each side. The which, matched terrain in St. Catherine's churchyard, out of a great deal of old iron that chose forth.
Come in God's name. I fear no woman.
And as I went on there, flying from the man.
scorns and contumelious taunts. In open marketplace produced they me to be a public spectacle to all. Here, said they, is the terror of the French, the scarecrow that affrights our children so. Then broke I from the officers that led me, and with my nails digged stones out of the ground to hurl at the beholders of my shame. My grisly countenance made others fly, none durst come near for fear of sudden death. In iron walls they deemed me not secure. So great fear of my name amongst them were spread, that they supposed I could rend bars of steel, and spur into pieces posts about it. Wherefore a guard of chosen shot I had, that walked about me every minute while. If I did but stir out of my bed, ready they were to shoot me to the heart.
I grieve to hear what torments you endured, but we will be revenged sufficiently.
Oh, hail, my lords! Which of this princely train call you the warlike Talbot? Or is that so much wanted through the realm of France?
Here is the Talbot. Who would speak with him?
The virtuous lady, Countess of Beauvais, with modesty admiring thy renown. By me entreats, great lord, thou wouldst vouchsafe to visit her poor palace where she lies, that she may boast she hath beheld the man, whose glory fills the world with loud report.
Is it even so? Nay, but I see our wars will turn unto a peaceful comic sport, when ladies crave to be countered with. You may not, my lord, despise ancient pursuit.
Now trust me then, for when a world of men could not prevail with all their oratory, then hath a woman's kindness overruled. And therefore tell her I return great thanks, and in submission will attend on her. Will not your honors bear me company?
No, truly, 'tis more than manners will. And I have heard it said, unbidden guests are often welcomest when they are gone.
Alone then, since there's no remedy, I mean to prove this lady's courtesy. Come hither, Captain. You perceive my mind?
I do, my lord, and mean accordingly.
The plot is laid. If all things fall out track, I shall as famous be by this exploit as Scythian Tamers by Cyrus' death. Great is the rumor of this dreadful knight, and his achievements of no less account. Fain would mine eyes be witness with mine ears to give their censure of these rare reports.
Madam, according as your ladyship desired by message craved, so is Lord Talbot come.
Then he is welcome. What? Is this the man?
Madam, it is.
Is this the scourge of France? Is this the Talbot, so much feared abroad that with his name the mothers still their babes?
I see report is fabulous and false.
I thought I should have seen some Hercules, a second Hector for his grim aspect and large proportion of strong men limbs. Alas, this is a child! It cannot be this weak and brittle shrimp should strike such terror to his enemies. Madam, I have been bold to trouble you, but since your ladyship is not at leisure, I'll source some other time to visit you. What means he now? Go ask him when he goes.
Stay, my Lord Talbot, for my lady craves to know the cause of your abrupt departure.
Marry, for that she's in a wrong belief. I go to certify her Talbot's here.
If thou be he, then art thou prisoner.
Prisoner? To whom?
To me, bloodthirsty lord. And for that cause I train thee to my house.
Long time thy shadow hath been thrall to me, for in my gallery thy picture hangs.
But now this substance shall endure the like, and I will chain these legs and arms of thine that has for many years wasted our country, slain our citizens, and sent our sons and husbands captive. Laughest thou, ouch! Thy word shall turn to mine.
I laugh to see your ladyship so fond as to think that you have aught but Talbot's shadow whereon to practice
Severity. Why, art not thou the man?
I am indeed.
Then have I substance too?
No, I am but shadow of myself. You are deceived. My substance is not here. For what you see is but the smallest part and least proportion of humanity. I tell you, madam, we're the whole frame here. It is of such a spacious, lofty pitch. Your roof were not sufficient to contain it.
This is a riddling merchant for the nonce. He will be here, and yet he is not here. How can these contrarieties agree?
That will I show you presently. What say you, madam? Are you now persuaded that Talbot is but shadow of himself? These are his substance, sinews, arms, strength, with which he yoketh your rebellious necks, raiseth your cities, and subverts your towns, and in a moment makes them desolate.
Victorious Talbot, pardon my abuse. I find thou art no less than fame hath rooted, and more than may be gathered by thy shame. Let my presumption not provoke thy wrath, for I am sorry that with reverence I did not entertain thee as thou art.
Be not dismayed, fair lady, nor misconstrue the mind of Talbot as you did mistake the outward composition of his body. What you have done hath not offended me, nor other satisfaction do I crave, but only with your patience that we may taste of your wines and see what cakes you have, for soldiers' stomachs always serve them well.
With all my heart, and think me honored to be so great a warrior in my house.
Sirrah, thou knowest how Orleans is besieged and how the English have the suburbs blood.
Father, I know, and off the Troupe. Unfortunate, I missed my aim.
Now thou shalt not. Be thou ruled by me, chief master gunner am I of this town. Something I must do to procure me praise. The prince's Esfields have informed me how English in the suburbs close entrenched went through secret grates with iron bars in yonder tower to overclear the city and thence discover how with most advantage they make access with shot or with assault. To intercept this inconvenience, the piece of ordnance gifted I have placed, and even these 3 days have I watched if I could see them. Now do thou watch, for I can stay no longer. If thou spiest any, run and bring me the word, and thou shalt find me at the governor's.
Father, I warned you. Take you no care. I'll never trouble you if I may spy on you.
Now it is supper time in Orleans. Here, through this grate, I count each one and view the Frenchmen how they fortify. Let us look out. You'll find the sight much delightful. Sir Thomas Gargrave and Lord Scales, let me have your express pen
So bees with smoke and doves with noisome stench are from their hives and houses driven away. They called us for our fierceness, English dogs. Now like to whelps we cry and run away. Hark, countrymen, either renew the fight or tear the lions out of England's coat. Renounce your soil, give sheep and lions stead. Sheep run not half so treacherous from the wolf, or horse and oxen from the leopard, as you fly from your oft-subdued slaves. It will not be! Retire unto your trenches. You all consented unto Salisbury's death, for none would strike a stroke in his revenge. Pucellus entered into Orleans, in spite of us, or aught that we could do. Oh, that I were to die with Salisbury. The shame hereof will make me hide my head.
Advance our waving colors on the walls, rescue his Orleans from the English. Thus Joan of Arc hath performed her word.
Divinest creature, Astraea's daughter, how shall I honor thee for thy success? Thy words are like Adonis' garden that one day bloomed and fruitful were the next friends. Triumphing thy glorious prophetess, recovered is the town of Orleans from a blessed half man of all our state.
Why not ring bells aloud throughout the town? Dauphin, command the citizens make bonfires and feast and banquet in the open streets to celebrate the joy that God hath given us.
All France will be replete with mirth and joy when they shall hear how we have played the man.
'Tis show, not fighting this day is one, for which I'll divide my crown with her. And all the priests and friars of my realm shall in procession sing her endless praise. A statelier pyramid to her all bear the rotiphase of Memphis ever was. In memory of her, when she is dead. An urn more precious than the rich jeweled coffer of Darius transported shall be at high festival before the kings and queens of France. No longer on St. Denis will we cry, but Joan Marcel shall be France's saint. Come in, let us make it royally after this golden day of victory.
Well, let them practice and converse with spirits. God is our fortress, in whose conquering name let us resolve to scale these flinty bulwarks.
Send for it, Talbot.
We will follow thee, not all may yet rise against their force.
3. I'll to yon corner. Now to this.
And here will Talbot mount, or make his grave. Now, Salisbury, for thee, and for the right of English Henry, shall this night appear how much in duty I am bound to both. St. George! And Talbot!
The enemies of my soul!
How now, my lord, what? All unready so?
Unready, I am glad we escaped so well.
'Twas time, I trow, to wake and leave our beds hearing alarms at our chamber doors.
Of all exploits and first, I call alarms. Ne'er heard I of a warlike enterprise more venturous or desperate than this. I think this Talbot be a fiend of hell.
Not hell, but heaven sure favor him.
Here comes Charles. I marvel how he sped. Holy Joan was his defensive guard.
Was this thy cunning, thou deceitful dame? Didst thou at first to flatter us withal, make us partake into a little game that now our loss might be 10 times so much?
Wherefore is Charles impatient with his friend? At all times will you have my power alike? Sleeping or waking, must I still prevail? Or will you blame and lay the fault on me? Improvident soldiers had your watch been good, this sudden mischief never could have fallen.
Duke of Allenson, this was your fault, and being captain of the guard tonight, it looked no better to that lady in charge.
Had all your quarters been as secure as that whereof I had the governance, we had not been thus shamefully surprised. Mine was secure.
So was mine, my lord, and as for myself, most part of all this night, in her quarter in mine own precinct, have I been engaged in passing to and fro, relieving of the sentinels. Then how or which way should they first break in?
Question, my lords, no further of the case, how or which way. 'Tis sure they found some place but weakly guarded where the breach was made. And now there rests no other shift but this, to gather our soldiers, scout them dispersed, and lay new platforms to damage them.
Day is brick, and night is fled. This pitchy mantle o'erveiled the earth. Here sound retreat, and cease our hot pursuit.
Bring forth the body of old Salisbury, and here advance it in the marketplace, the middle center of this cursed town. Now have I paid my vow unto his soul. For every drop of blood was drawn from him, there hath at least 5 Frenchmen died tonight. And that hereafter ages may behold what ruin happened in revenge of him. Within their chiefest temple I'll erect a tomb wherein his corpse may be interred, upon the which that everyone shall read shall be engraved the sack of Orleans, the treacherous manner of his mournful death, and what a terror he had been to France. But lords, in all our bloody massacre, I mused we met not with the Dauphin's grace, his new-come champion, virtuous Joan of Arc, nor any of their false confederates.
'Tis thought, my lord, that when the fight began, roused on the sudden from their drowsy beds, they did, amongst the troops of armed men, leap over the walls for refuge in the fields. Myself, as far as I could well discern for smoke and dusty vapors of the night, I'm sure I scared the Dauphin and his troll. And arm in arm they both came swiftly running, like 2 pairs of loving turtle dogs that could not live asunder day or night. After that things are set in order here, we'll follow them with all the power we have.
These are the city gates, the gates of Rome through which our policy must take a breach. Take heed. Be wary how you place your words. Talk week. I'll lay a sign of notice to our friends that Charles the Dauphin may encounter them.
Our sex shall be a means to sack the city, and we be lords and rulers over Rome. Therefore will knock.
Qui va? Paysans à pauvre Joan of Arc. Poor market folk that come to sell their corn.
Enter, go in. The market bell is rung.
Now row, now shake thy bulwarks to the ground.
St. Denis bless this happy stratagem, and once again we'll sleep secure in Rome.
Here entered Pucelle and her practisans. Now she is there, how will she specify? Here is the best to say this passage in.
By thrusting out a torch from yonder tower, which once discerned shows that her meaning is no way to that for weakness which she entered.
Behold, this is the happy wedding torch that joineth Rome unto her countrymen, but burning fatal to the Talbonites.
See, noble Charles, the beacon of our friend, the burning torch in yonder turret stands.
Now shine it like a column of revenge, a prophet to the fall of all our foes. Defer our time, delay some dangerous ends, entering crime into a fall presently, and then do execution on the watch.
France, thou shalt rue this treason with thy tears, if Talbot but survive thy treachery. Pucelle, that witch, that damned sorceress, hath wrought this hellish mischief unawares, that hardly we escape the pride of France.
Good morrow, gallants. Want you corn for bread? I think the Duke of Burgundy will fast before he'll wine again at such rate. 'Twas full of garlic. Do you like the taste?
Scoff on, vile fiend and shameless courtesan. I trust ere long to choke thee with thy power, and make thee curse the harvest of that corn.
Your grace may starve, perhaps, before that time.
Oh, let no words but deeds revenge this treason.
What will you do, good greybeard? Break a lance and run it till the death within a chair?
Foul fiend of France, and hag of all despite, encompassed with thy lustful paramours, becomes it thee to taunt his valiant age and quit with cowardice a man half dead? Damsel, about thee again, or else let Talbot perish with this shame.
Are you so hot, sir? Yet Pucelle, hold thy peace. If Talbot do but thunder, rain will follow. Godspeed the Parliament. Who shall be the speaker?
Dare you come forth and meet us in the field?
Belike your lordship takes us then for fools. Try if that our own be ours or no.
I speak not unto that railing Hecate, but unto thee, Alanson, and the rest. Will you, like soldiers, come and fight it out?
Signor,
No. Senor, hang! Base muleteers of France, like peasant footboys do they keep the walls and dare not take up arms like gentlemen.
Away, captains. Let's gas from the walls, for Talbot needs no goodness by his looks. Goodbye, my lord. We came not to tell you that we are here.
And there will we be too ere it be long, or else reproach will be Talbot's greatest fame. Thou, Burgundy, by honor of thy house, pricked on by public wrong sustained in France, either to get the town again or die. And I, as sure as English Henry lives, and as his father here was conqueror, as sure as in this late betrayed town great Coeur de Lion's heart was buried, so sure swear I to get the town or die.
Thy vows are equal partners with thy vows.
But ere we do regard this dying prince, the valiant Duke of Bedford, come, my lord, we will bestow you in some better place, fitter for sickness and for crazy age.
My lord, do not so dishonor me. Here shall I sit, for the walls of Rome, and be a partner of your weal or woe. Courageous Bedford, let us not persuade you not to be gone from hence. For once I read that stout Pendragon, his litter sick, did come down to the field and vanquished his foes. Methinks I should revive the soldiers' hearts, as I ever found them as myself.
Undaunted spirit in a dying breast. Then be it so. Heavens keep old Bedford safe. And now, no more ado, brave Burgundy, but gather we our forces out of hand and set upon our boasting enemy.
Now, quiet soul, depart from heaven, please. For I have seen our enemies overthrow. What is the trust or strength of foolish now? They that of late were daring with their scoffs, are now eager to feign by flight to save themselves.
Lost and recovered in a day again. This is a double honor, Burgundy. Yet heavens have glory for this victory.
For like Marshal Talbot, Burgundy enshrines thee in his heart, and there erects thy noble deeds as valor's monuments.
Thanks, gentle Duke. But where is Pucelle now? I think her old familiar is asleep. Now where's the bastard Graves and Charles his gleeks? What? All amort? Ruin hangs her head for grief that such a valiant company are fled. Now will we take some order in the town, placing therein some expert officers.
Would wills Lord Talbot please have guarded him.
But before we go, let us not forget the valiant Duke of Bedford, late deceased, to see his exequies fulfilled in Rome. A braver soldier never couched lance, a gentler heart that never swayed court. The kings and mightiest potentates must die, for that's the end of human misery.
Dismay not, princes, at this accident, nor grieve that Rome is so recovered. Care is no cure, but rather corrosive from things that are not to be remedied. Let frantic Talbot triumph for a while, and like a peacock sweep along his tail. We'll pull his plumes and take away his train, if Dauphin, and the rest will be but
We have been guided to Bible hitherto. Now thy cunning hath no difference. One sudden foil shall never be distrust.
Search out thy secret policies, and we will make beginnings through the world.
We'll set thy statue in some holy place and have thee reverenced like a blessed saint.
Employ thee then, sweet brethren, for our good.
Then thus it must be. This doctor replies. By fair persuasions mixed with sugared words, we will entice the Duke of Burgundy to leave the Talbot and to follow us.
Very sweetie, if we could do that, France were no place for him and his warriors. Nor should that nation most do so without being extirpated from our provinces.
Forever should they be expelled from France, not entitled of earldom here. Your honor shall perceive how I will work to bring this matter to the wished end. Hark! By the sound of drums you may perceive their powers marching unto Paris fort. There goes the Talbot with his colors spread, and all the troops they push after him. Now in the rear orbit comes the Duke and his. Fortune and favor makes him lag behind. Summon a parley and we will talk with him.
A parley with the Duke of Burgundy!
Who craves a parley with Burgundy?
The princely Charles of France. thy countrymen.
What sayest thou, Charles, for our marching hence? Speak, Pucelle, enchanting with thy words.
Brave Burgundy, undoubted hope of France, stay. Let thy humble handmaid speak with thee.
Speak on, but be not over tedious.
Look on thy country. Look on fertile France. And see the cities and the towns defaced by the wasting ruin of the cruel foe. As looks the mother on her lowly maid when death doth close his tender dying eyes, see the pining maladies of France. Behold the wounds, the most unnatural wounds, which thou thyself hast given her woeful breast. Oh, turn thy edged sword another way. Strike those that hurt, and hurt not those that help. One drop of blood drawn from thy country's bosom should grieve thee more than streams of foreign war. Return thee, therefore, with a flood of tears, and wash away thy country's stained spots.
Here she hath bewitched me with her words, or nature makes me suddenly relent.
Besides, all French and France exclaims on thee, doubting thy birth and lawful progeny. Who joinst thou but with a lordly nation that will not trust thee but for profit's sake? When Talbot hath set footing once in France and fashioned thee that instrument ill, who then but English Henry will be lord? And thou be thrust out like a fugitive. Call me to mind and mark for this reproof. Was not the Duke of Orleans thy foe? And was he not in England prisoner? But when they heard he was thine enemy, they set him free without his ransom paid in spite of Burgundy and all his friends. See them. Thou fights against thy countrymen, and joinst with them will be thy slaughter. Come. Return, thou wandering lord. Charles and the rest will take thee in their arms.
I am vanquished. These haughty words of hers have battered me like horrid cannon shot, and made me almost yield upon my knees. Forgive me, country and sweet countrymen, and lords, accept this hearty kind of grace. My force is in my power, if none are yours. So farewell, Talbot. I'll no longer trust you.
Welcome, brave Duke. Thy friendship makes us strength.
And doth beget new courage in our breasts.
Himself hath bravely played her part in this, and doth deserve a coronet of gold.
Now, let us on, my lords, and join our forces and seek how we may prejudice the foe.
Go unto the gates of Bordeaux. Summon their general onto the wall.
English John Talbot, captain, called you forth, servant in arms to Henry, King of England, and thus he would. Open your city gates, be humble to us, call my sovereign yours, and do him homage as obedient subjects, and I withdraw me and my bloody power. But if you frown upon this proffered peace, you tempt the fury of my three attendants, lean famine, torturing steel, and climbing fire, who in a moment, even with the earth,
shall lay your stately and air-braving towers if you forsake the offer of their love.
Thou ominous and fearful hour of death, our nation's terror and their bloody scourge, the period of thy tyranny approacheth. On us thou canst not enter but by death, for I protest we are well fortified and strong enough to issue out and fight. If thou retire, the Dauphin well appointed stands with the snares of war to tangle thee. On either hand thee there are squadrons pitched to wall thee from the liberty of flight. And no way canst thou turn thee for redress, but death doth front thee with apparent spoil, and pale destruction meets thee in the face. 10,000 French have taken the sacrament to ride their dangerous artillery upon no Christian soul but English Talbot. Lo, there thou standest, a breathing, valiant man of an invincible, unconquered spirit. This is the latest glory of thy praise, that I, thy enemy, do thee withal. For ere the glass that now begins to run finish the process of his sandy hour, these eyes that see thee now well colouring shall see thee withered, bloody, pale, and dead. Hark, hark, the Dauphin's drum. A warning bell sings heavy music to thy timorous soul, and mine shall bring thy dire departure out.
He fables not. I hear the enemy. Out, some light horsemen and bruise their wings. Oh, negligent and heedless discipline. Now are we parked and bounded in a pale, a little herd of England's timorous deer, mazed with a yelping kennel of French curs. If we be English deer, be then in blood, not rascal-like to fall down with a pinch, but rather moody mad and desperate stags. Turn on the bloody hounds with heads of steel, and make the coward stand aloof at bay. Sell every man his life as dear as mine, and they shall find dear, dear of us. God and St. George, Talbot and England's right, prosper our colors in this dangerous fight.
Are not the speedy scouts returned again, the dogged and mighty army of the Dauphin?
They are returned, my lord. Give it up, that he has marched Bordeaux with his power to fight with Talbot. As he marched along, by your Esfields were discovered 2 mightier troops than that the Dauphin led, which joined with him and made their march for Bordeaux.
Plague upon that villain Somerset, thus delays my promised supply of horsemen that were levied for this siege. Renowned Talbot doth expect my aid, and I am allowed to it by a traitor villain, cannot help the noble chevalier. God comfort him in this necessity. If he miscarry, farewell wars in France.
Thou complete leader of our English strength, never so evil on earth for France. Spur to the rescue of the noble Talbot, who now is girdled with the waist of iron and hemmed about with grim destruction. To Bordeaux, warlike Duke, to Bordeaux, York. Else farewell, Talbot, France and England's honor.
Oh, that Somerset, who in proud heart doth stop my cornets for Talbot's place. Thus should we save a valiant gentleman by forfeiting a traitor and a coward. That ire and wrathful fury lays with me, that thus Somerset and his delay.
It is too late. I cannot send them now. This expedition was by York and Talbot too rashly plotted. All our general force might. The sally of the very town we buckled with. The overdaring Talbot has sullied all his laws and former honor by some heedful, desperate, wild adventure. York set him on to fight and die in shame. That, Talbot's dead, Prince York might bear the name.
Here is Sir William Lucy, with me sent from our matched forces for aid.
How now, Sir William? Whither were you sent?
Whither, my lord? From bought and sold Lord Talbot, who, hearing of conflict, behold adversity, cries out for noble York and Somerset to beat assailing death from his weak regions. And whilst that honorable captain there drips bloody sweat from his war-weary limbs and an advantage lingering hopes for rescue, you, his false hopes, the trust of England's honor, keep off aloof with worthless emulation. Let not your private discord keep away the levied succors that should send him aid, while he, renowned noble gentleman, yield up his life unto a world of odds. Or like our bastard, Charles, Burgundy, Alison, Rainier compass him about, and Talbot perisheth by your default.
York set upon York should have sent him aid,
And York, as fast upon your grace, exclaimed, swearing that you withhold the levy hosts collected for this expedition.
York lies! He might have sent and had the horse. I owe him little duty, less love, to take foul scorn to fawn on him by sending him.
The fraud of England, not the force of France, hath now entrapped the noble-minded Talbot. Never to England shall he bear his life, but dies betrayed to fortune by your strife.
Come, go. I will dispatch the horsemen straight. Within 6 hours they will be at his aid.
Too late comes rescue, he is ta'en or slain. For fly could he not if he would have fled, and fly would Talbot never though he might.
If he be dead, brave Talbot, good adieu.
His fame lives in the world, his shame, you.
Oh, young John Talbot, I did send for thee, that Talbot's name might be in thee revived, when sapless age and weak, unable limbs should bring thy father to his drooping chair. Oh, malignant and ill-boding stars, now thou art come unto a feast of death, a terrible and unavoided danger. Therefore, dear boy, mount on my swiftest horse, and I'll direct thee how thou shalt escape by sudden flight. Come, dally not, be gone.
Is my name Talbot? Am I your son? And shall I fly? If you love my mother, dishonor not her honorable name to make a bastard and a slave of me. They will say he is not Talbot's blood that makes me fled side and plan yourself into a divide. Stay. Go do what you will, the life do I. Live I will not till my father die.
Then here I take my leave of thee, fair son. Born to eclipse thy life this afternoon. Come, side by side, together live and die, and soul with soul from France to heaven fly.
Anon from thy insulting tyranny, coupled in bonds of perpetuity, two Talbots, winged through the lifeless sky, in thy despite shall scape mortality. O thou whose wounds become hard-favored death, speak to thy father, and thou yield thy breath. Brave death by speaking, whether he will or no. Imagine him a Frenchman and thy foe. Poor boy. He smiles, methinks, as who should say, had death been French, then death had died today. Come and lay him in his father's arms. Ah! My spirit can no longer bear these arms. Soldiers, adieu. I have what I would have. Now my old arms are young John Talbot's grave.
And York and Somerset brought rescue with me to the fountain blood day of this. How are the young well arms. Hew them to pieces, hack their bones asunder, whose life was England's glory, the land's wonder.
No! Forbear. Enough you have fled in life. Let us not wrong it dead. On what submissive message art thou sent?
Submission, Dauphin. 'Tis a mere French word, we English know not what it means. I come to know what prisoners thou hast ta'en, and to survey the bodies of the dead.
For prisoners, ask thou. Hell our prison is. Tell me who it is thou seest.
But where is the great Alcuin in the field? Valiant Lord Talbot, Earl of Shrewsbury, rated for his rare success in arms. Great Earl of Washford, Waterford, and Valence. Lord Talbot of Goodrich and Urchinfield. Lord Strange of Blackbeard, Lord Verdon of Alton, Lord Cromwell of Wingfield, Lord Furnivall of Sheffield, the thrice victorious Lord of Falconbridge, Knight of the Noble Order of St. George, worthy St. Michael and the Golden Fleece, great Marshal to Henry VI of all his wars within the realm of France.
Here's a silly, stately style indeed. The Turk that 2 and 50 kingdoms hath writes not so tedious a style as this. Him that thou magnifiest with all these titles, stinking and flag-blown lies here at our feet.
Is Talbot slain? Frenchman's only scourge, your kingdom's terror and black nemesis. Oh! That mine eyeballs were into bullets turned, that in rage I might shoot them at your faces! Oh! That I could but call these dead to life! It were enough to fright the realm of France! Were but his picture left amongst you here, it would amaze the proudest among you all. Give me their bodies, that I might bear their defense, and give them burial as beseems their worth.
I think this upstart is old Talbot's ghost. He speaks with such a proud, commanding spirit. For God's sake, let him have them. To keep him here, they would but stink and putrefy the air.
Take them hence. I'll bear them hence. But from their ashes shall be reared a phoenix that shall make all France afeard.
So we be rid of them. Do for what thou wilt. Now, on to Paris this conquering vain. All will be ours. Now bloody Talbot slain. These news, my lord, may cheer our drooping spirits, to set the stout Parisians to revolt and turn again unto the warlike French.
Then march to Paris, royal Charles of France, and keep not back your powers and dalliance.
Peace be amongst them if they turn to us, else we can combat with their palaces.
Success unto our valiant general, and happiness to his accomplices.
What tidings send our scouts on him? Speak.
The English army that divided was into 2 parts is now conjoined in one, and means to give you battle presently.
Somewhat too sudden, lords, this news comes, but we shall presently provide for them.
I trust the ghost of Talbot was not there. Now he is gone, my lord, you need not fear.
Of all base passions, fear is most accursed. Command the conquest, Charles. It shall be thine. Let Henry fret and all the world repine.
Now, my lords, and friends be fortunate. vaunt. You have suborned this man on purpose to obscure my noble worth.
Take her away. She hath lived too long to fill the world with vicious qualities.
First, let me tell you who you have condemned. A virtuous woman, chosen by inspiration of celestial grace to work exceeding miracles on earth. I never had to do with wicked spirits. But you, that are polluted with your lusts, stained with the guiltless blood of innocence, corrupt and tainted with 1,000 vices because you want the grace that others have. You judge it straight a thing impossible to compass wonders but by help of devils. No misconceive it. Joan of Arc hath been a virgin from her tender infancy, chaste and immaculate in very thought, whose maiden blood, thus rigorously effused, will cry for vengeance at the gates of heaven.
Away with her to execution.
And hark you, sirs, because she is a maid, spare for no branches, let there be a now. Place barrels of pitch upon the fatal stake, that so her torture may be shortened.
Will nothing turn on relenting hearts?
Use no entreaty, for it is in vain. Break down in pieces and consume to ashes, thou foul, accursed minister of hell.
Then leave me hence, with whom I leave my curse. May never glorious sun reflects his beams upon the country where you make abode, but darkness and a gloomy shade of death inviting you till mischief and despair drive you to break your necks or hang yourselves.
Lord Regent, I do greet your excellence with letters of commission from the king. For know, my lords, the states of Christendom, moved with remorse of these outrageous broils, have earnestly implored a general peace betwixt our nation and the aspiring French. And here at hand, the Dauphin and his train approacheth to confer with us on matter.
Is all our travail turned to this? To the slaughter of so many peers, so many captains, gentlemen and soldiers that have been overthrown and sold their bodies for their country's benefit, shall we at last conclude effeminate peace? Have we not lost most part of all of the towns by treason, trickery, and by falsehood our great progenitors had conquered? Oh, Warwick, I foresee with grief the utter loss of all the realm of France.
Be patient, you. If we conclude a peace, it shall be with such strict and severe covenants as little shall the Frenchmen gain thereby.
Since, lords of England, it is thus decreed that peaceful truce must be proclaimed in France, we come to be informed by yourselves of the conditions of that we must be.
Speak, Winchester. The boiling collar chokes the hollow passage of my poisoned voice. By the sight of these, our baleful enemies.
Charles and the rest, it is enacted thus, that in regard King Henry gives consent to ease your country of distressful war and suffer you to breathe in fruitful peace, you shall become true liegemen to his crown. And Charles, upon condition thou wilt swear to pay him tribute and submit thyself, thou shalt be placed as viceroy under him, and still enjoy thy regal dignity.
Must he be then as shadow of himself, placing coronet upon his temple, and yet, in substance and authority, retain the privilege of a private man? His proffer is absurd and reasonless. 'Tis known already that I am possessed of more than half the Galilean territories, who do reverence me as their rightful king. Shall, for lucre of the rest unvanquished, detract so much from that prerogative as to be called the viceroy of the whole? No, Lord Ambassador, or rather keep that which I have, and coveting for more be cast from possibility of all.
Insulting Either accept the terms thou art offered of benefit proceeding from our king, and of any threat of rebellion, or we will plague thee with incessant war.
My lord, you do not rather lost in the cattle in this course of conquest. If once it be forsaken 10 to 1, we shall not find like opportunity.
To say the truth, it is your quality to save your subjects from such massacres and slaughters as are daily seen by our preceding hostility, and therefore take this compact of a truce, although you break it when your pleasure serves.
How sayest thou, Charles? Shall our conditions stand?
It shall, only provided you retain no interest in any of our towns and garrison.
And swear allegiance to his majesty, as thou art knight, never to disobey, nor be rebellious to the crown of England. Thou, nor thy nobles, to the crown of England. So now call off your army, and when you will, hang up your ensigns, let your drums be still. For here we entertain a solemn peace.
In 1429, the sun began to shine again.